So in 2012, Sarah Bostic walks into her kitchen, right? She finds her 25-year-old daughter lying in the floor in a pool of her own blood. Next to her was a chef's knife, sort of like this one right here. It was the very chef knife that she used to stab into her chest over and over and over until she took her last breath. What happened 5 months before was that Cecily, the daughter, her medication was changed over from one pharmaceutical antidepressant to another. And that antidepressant was called Paxil. With 1 in 8 Americans today taking an antidepressant, there are way more stories than just Cecily's. If you or anyone you know takes an antidepressant for their depression, and it's a pharmaceutical-based drug company, large drug company pharmaceutical, you should switch to a natural remedy. I'm here today to share with you the dangers of pharmaceutical antidepressants, tell you about the other options available to you, and their benefits. There are many side effects with pharmaceutical antidepressants. There's headaches, rapid heartbeats, there's nausea, addiction, and in Cecily's case, suicidal thoughts turning into suicide. And those are not all the side effects that are out there. Those are just the ones that I would like to point out to you today. In the FDA's MedWatch, between 2004 and 2012, there were 32,000 reports of psychiatric drugs causing suicide. It seems that Cecily was just another statistic, right? Now that we know pharmaceuticals are dangerous and can have an adverse effect on us, let us look at the natural remedies available. So the first one I'd like to point out is exercise. It's free, it's effective, it works. There's cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. That's where you take your negative thoughts and you turn them into positive thoughts over a series of therapy sessions. There's also SAMe, which is a chemical that occurs naturally in your body. And there's 5-HTP, which is a natural amino acid. Now, all of these methods, they create the feel-good chemicals. It's what makes us happy. It makes us live and strive for the day. It makes us have that positive outlook, right? It's serotonin, melatonin, and dopamine, and that's the chemicals that they help produce. Now, another positive about the natural remedies, there's a stigma associated with mental illness, and people who think that they're being judged for getting help, they can go easily get these natural remedies over the counter at low cost. So they actually have the availability to get help. And that's what I like a lot about the natural remedies. Plus, they're less risky to take. They aren't going to have these crazy adverse side effects. You're not going to go kill yourself. So that's the best part. To point out the effectiveness of these natural remedies, I'd like to point out 5-HTP, that natural amino acid. It was studied by Dr. Costa in the medical journal Advances in Biochemical Psychopharmacology. That study showed that depressed patients had a 50% reduction in their depressive symptoms. When compared to Paxil, it was proven way more effective and less of a risk. So Paxil is what Cecily was taking. So in theory, she could have taken the 5-HTP and been maybe just fine, still on this earth. Now, in March of 2012, researchers at the British Medical Journal conducted a study on the benefits of exercise when it comes to depression. And they seem to think that exercise has no impact on fighting depression. This may be true. However, I disagree with their findings. There is a huge gap in their research. There's actually a couple huge gaps. I'd like to point those out to you right now. They used the same number of males and the same number of females in their study between the ages of 18 and 69. Okay, what's wrong with that? Well, the Anxiety and Depression Association of America stated that women are twice as likely to develop depression than men. So right there, the fact that they used the same amount of men and women in their study, it flawed their results. Also, 1 in 8 children under the age of 18 are likely to develop depressive symptoms, and generalized anxiety disorder, which is a form of depression, is one of the most common mental illnesses that the elderly experience. So the fact that they didn't include the 69 and up group, that flaws their results. So they have a problem with their demographic, their participants, if you will. So exercise is effective. and its effectiveness is situational. And what I mean by that, let me give you an example. Imagine you weigh 300 pounds, you're depressed about your weight, you become self-conscious, and you're just depressed. You start exercising and then you lose all this weight, you start feeling great about yourself. And that's one way that exercise can be effective. I know I used to weigh 300 pounds. I lost a ton of weight. I'm now 180. I've actually gained like 10 pounds. But I feel great. I feel great about myself. It helped me. I was really depressed. So these antidepressants that these doctors are giving us are dangerous. They cause many side effects such as headaches and suicide and addiction. Cecily, she was prescribed this pharmaceutical antidepressant. It was known to cause these suicidal thoughts. She killed herself. You can prevent this by taking natural remedies, getting other help, seeing also is what out there. But so next time you think about taking a pharmaceutical antidepressant, please try a natural antidepressant. Thank you.